everyone, it's Maria, and today I'm going to be doing the 10-year Booktube challenge by Rincey Reads. I love Rincey. She's one of my top probably 3 favorite YouTubers, and I really wanted to do this challenge. Of course, I did not get it in by the end of the year, by the end of the decade, because we have tons of house guests. That wasn't going to happen. But I still wanted to take the time out of my day to kind of tell you about how I've changed in the last 10 years of my reading. So the first question is the best book you read in 2009. And this is actually kind of funny. I put in 2. The first one is Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert. Yes, I know that a lot of people have feelings about that book. Bad or good, I don't care. I love that book. I reread it several times. I underlined it. The idea of somebody who was willing to go do something that was scary for them and learn about other people, I really resonated with at that time in my life. I love the idea of traveling. I love traveling. Both India and Italy were places that I've been. I hadn't gone to India at that time yet, but I'd gone to Italy a few times and just really appreciated it. So yeah, I really loved Eat, Pray, Love. The other one from 2009 that I really loved was Sarah's Key, and that one is by Tatiana de Rosny. That is a World War II historical fiction that jumps back and forth between present day and World War II, and you're kind of finding out what happened to a family that went into hiding. I really liked that book so much that I remember my husband came home one day and saw me raking the yard while I was reading it, to which he replied, it would go a lot faster if I put the book down, but I was not planning on doing that. So those were my top books from 2009. Best book from 2019, strangely enough, I have 2. And I'm not doing a whole separate video, so I feel comfortable putting that in. The first one was nonfiction. It was Moment of Lift by Melinda Gates. I kind of thought that book was going to be good, but not mind-blowing. I loved how she laid out everything as far as the problems and issues that women are facing around the world, how people who are of privilege can help, and how it gets tricky because you think you have the solution and then there's another solution underneath that. And she just talks a lot about how to look at those kinds of problems in a good way. It reminded me a lot of the book Half the Sky, which I really love, but kind of an updated version because she has, newer statistics and newer things going on. Obviously, Half the Sky was written a while ago, but yeah, Moment of Lift. And the title behind Moment of Lift is just the idea of when we start to lift up women, that's when the whole world lifts. And I just really appreciated that book. But the other favorite was actually, I think, City of Girls by Elizabeth Gilbert. Again, so a decade, and I still really like Elizabeth Gilbert, apparently. And I don't read everything she puts out, but I read a lot of it. I guess I enjoy her. City of Girls is a fiction book about 1920s, that kind of style of the speakeasy lifestyle and what can happen with one choice and how it snowballs, affects other people, and then when those people put those labels back on you, how you take that into your future life and how it defines you, or how you don't let it define you. And I just really loved that book a lot. Elizabeth Gilbert does a great job of image painting, and you just kind of felt like you were there. I'm excited to see that. I think they're making it into a production, if I remember correctly. So I'm excited about seeing either the movie or the show. I don't remember what they're going to do with it. So next, worst book from 2009, and this is tied. It's either My Antonia by Willa Cather, because I had to reread it for a book club, and I hated it the first time I read it in high school. I also hated it the second time I read it for a book club. It was just a lot of Willa Cather talking about grasses over and over is all I remember. And while I can appreciate as an adult the idea of loving nature and describing it, I just still don't like that book. The other one was Wicked by Gregory Maguire, which is another one that I tried to reread 3 times until I just said, you know what, it's okay to like the musical and not like the book. I just couldn't get into it. The worst book from 2019, at this point in my life, I don't finish books that I'm not getting a lot out of. I don't hate read. I have nobody paying me to read books, so I can read what I want, and I'm not going to waste my time finishing a book that I'm not into. Also, I do a good job of vetting books ahead of time, so I might pick up a book that I'm kind of about. I might finish it. The book that I just finished by Ali Wong, Hard Knock or no, it's Dear Girls. I just finished that one and it was okay. It wasn't amazing, but I really like her, so I wanted to finish it. So maybe I can say that one. But I mean, it wasn't bad. It was just, I don't read books that I don't like. Book still on my TBR from 2009, Unbroken by Laura Hillenbrand. I know everybody else on the planet's read it. I still haven't yet. And then I, of course, haven't watched the movie yet because I haven't read the book yet. It's all a vicious cycle. Book still on my TBR from 2019 is The Toll, which I finally got from the library, by Neil Shusterman. It's the third one in the trilogy, the Scythe trilogy, and I'm very excited to finish it. I have not had time yet. I probably will pick it up next week, so I'm excited about that one because I've enjoyed the other two books. Genre, I don't read much anymore. I still read a lot of the same genres, maybe not as much memoir or biography. I just haven't lately. I've focused a lot more on nonfiction and things that I'm reading for school because that's what time I am in my life, is learning to teach. So new genre I have latched onto, middle grade read-alouds because I have a lot of, I mean, I don't have a lot of kids, but I have kids and we homeschool. And so middle grade read-alouds, and I'm very picky and I'm really enjoying the ones that we've gotten to pick out. So a habit I want to leave behind in the decade, not reading books that I actually own. Honestly, out of everyone in the house, I probably own the fewest amount of books, even though I read the most, because I'm very picky about what I buy. I get most things from the library, but I occasionally get books that I want to read and I haven't read them yet, so I should probably do that. A habit I want to start going into the next decade, making sure that I actually record my reading, because this past year, 2019, I didn't. I was off Booktube because I needed to take a break and figure out if I still wanted to do it. I am annoyed with Goodreads and Amazon, so I kind of backed away from there a little bit. But I probably just need to suck it up and get back on Goodreads or come up with some other way of sharing my thoughts on books other than YouTube. I don't know. I definitely want to do a reading journal better than I have in the past. So that's something that I will take going into 2020, which we are now in. So those are the questions. If you haven't already done this tag, I guess you can. Do what you want. You know me. It was nice talking with you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.